Hey everybody, Tech Trucker here, and today I'm going to show you a quick tip on how to repair a mess up. If you happen to accidentally, while you're cutting your bricks, you've probably all done it, accidentally cut not every other one. Today I'm going to show you how you can clean that up. Alright, so here you have it. I've got my joint compound, which is essentially sheetrock mud. Nothing special about it. I had a bunch of extra from when I finished my basement. Alright, so basically once you've stirred this up, if it's kind of old, get it mixed up real good, you're going to need a little putty knife or pretty much anything flat like this. You're going to take just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. You don't really need a lot because these cracks are pretty small. So I'm just gonna work that in just a little bit at a time, getting rid of some of my excess. It doesn't need to be perfect because you can sand some of this off. You just want to make sure that you get the entire cut or the entire joint filled. And you can, depending on how big your joints are, you can scrape some of it out, or you can just wait until it's dry, and in 8 hours or so you can sand that off. I'm going to just put a little bit more on because this is a bigger joint. Clean that out a little bit. And remember, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be better than what it was. Alright. I think I'm going to put just a little more on. When it dries, it's probably going to shrink a little bit. So, if you don't want to have to do multiple layers, which you may no matter what, you can put it on a little bit thicker. It will take a little longer for it to dry, but then you can get by with just one layer. There we go. I'm happy with that. Oh, got a weird bug. Alright. So we're going to let this dry. We're going to come back in the morning, take a look at it, sand it down. Alright, so we're back. It's been a little over 8 hours, and as you can see, hopefully, it's not real even. It's definitely got to have some sanding done. I could have done a little bit better job of keeping it clean, but I'm going to use, it's kind of a spongy, soft sanding block, and then I'm going to try finishing it off with, this is 220 grit. It's a wet sandpaper. I'm not going to wet it down, obviously, but we want to do this real gentle. We don't want to take too much off. And you're going to want to sand in circular motion. You're going to sand until you get it perfectly smooth, or as smooth as you desire it to be, I guess. Alright, so hopefully you can see. That's pretty good. Now we're just gonna do a real quick with the 220. Now the most important part to understand about this is this joint compound is gonna it's gonna dry, and it's not gonna be nearly as flexible as the foam. So you're probably not gonna be able to use this if you need some flex, because it's gonna crack apart from the foam, and then it might not look so good. But if it's just gonna be stationary and it's not gonna have to flexible at all, this should be good. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sand out the edges, and I'm going to use this cool little tool that I got. Because you can see I got a little bit still in that joint, so I need to square that off. Alright, so that's looking considerably better. So now, when we come back, we're gonna have this thing black washed, and we'll see how well we were able to mask that mistake. Alright, so it's been a couple of hours. I put 2 coats of black wash on, and you can still see the line a little bit, but it is pretty darn smooth. So that's one way of covering up a mistake, or a mistaken cut. We've all done it. It's a bummer when you do. Here's a way that you can fix it.
Textures Brain Blast.